Greetings, YouTube. Time for a bargain video. So we have 3 copies of Reviving Ophelia because I had completely wiped out my supply recently because I only had 2 in and I gave both of them away. So now I'm back in stock. So I've got 3 of them. I give these books away on a regular basis. I give them to women I know. And I give them to parents who have girls because this is a book that every woman, every girl, everyone should read this book. But it does the most benefit for women and girls. I've been searching for the male version of this book for years. I've always been disappointed. Wreck This Journal. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that. I don't know if I can get beyond my own personal issues with harming books. But I picked it up for $1, so my investment is minimal, and we'll see if it can happen. The 7 Daughters of Eve, the science that reveals our genetic ancestry. And I find genetics an intriguing subject. The Island of Lost Maps, the true story of cartographic crime, which is crimes with dealing with maps, mostly forgeries. I find maps fascinating as well. The Great Feuds of History, because who doesn't like a good feud? This is 10 Struggles That Shaped the World. A file for every purpose. Instructions for use and care. And look at that graphic. It is awesome. Catalog of the unusual. This is a catalog of things for sale, but unusual things for sale. Think internet in a print form long before there was an internet. This is 74, so this is before internet commerce had kicked off. And I picked this up for, I don't know, $1, I think, at a yard sale, an estate sale rather. And interestingly, the next day I went to a flea market and found another copy there. I didn't buy it, but I'd never seen the book, and within 2 days I see 2 copies. Very strange. At the same flea market, I found this copy of Playboy. This is September 1970. I've become fascinated with, apparently, magazine Playboys from my birth month. But I found this one in particular because it has Elkie Summer in it. I always had a fondness for Elkie Summer. But there's something else interesting in this. Well, 2 things. One, the ads are utterly fabulous. The fashion of the 1970s is all throughout this magazine. It is unbelievable. It is just a joy to behold. And pants companies that you traditionally think of as jeans had all kinds of options back in the 70s that we don't have anymore. But the second thing is the centerfold, which I will not show because I don't want to get in trouble. Or have to slap an adult content on this. In the movie Tremors 2, the sequel to the movie Tremors, the main character played by Fred Ward, his name's Earl, has a centerfold on the wall, and it's his iconic woman, the woman he's always loved and thinks is the perfect woman. And he says it's from October of 1974, but it isn't. It is from September 1970. I did not know this when I bought the magazine, but as soon as I saw the centerfold, I knew it was from that movie, and I've watched it since I purchased this, and I am correct. And I checked the IMDb page, and they concur that the centerfold on the wall is from this magazine. Made me smile so much. Then we have Freaks How to Draw Fantastic Fantasy Creatures. I happen to love this book. If you're into anthro art, this is just awesome. I bought this to give to somebody else. I don't need it. I have a copy. I don't know if I've reviewed this book. If I haven't, I need to. It's a really good book. I just threw these belts in here because I don't know where else to put them. I don't have any other clothing this time around. And these are just a couple of belts I bought for projects like shield projects. Mostly for the buckles. These buckles are really useful. And the straps themselves, of course, are. And I paid $1 for both belts. And I couldn't even get the buckles for that at a craft store, so I can't lose there. Then we have some DVDs. We have Skinwalkers, which is about shapeshifters. We have 47 Ronin. I watched this. I'm going to have to do a video about it because it was interesting, but also strange in some ways. Princess Mononoke, sorry. Hunger Games. I have no dog in this fight about being a fan of this, but I got it for $1, so I figured I'd watch it and see how I like it as a movie. Bruce Willis and Alec Baldwin in Mercury Rising, a film I've never seen. And Red Riding Hood with Amanda Seinfeld and Gary Oldman, a film I also have not seen. I also got that for $1. I think I got all of these for $1. I'm not positive. I may have paid a little bit more for the 747 run. Here we have a honey pot, which my wife wanted, and has the classic honey pot dipper. She wanted that, so we picked it up at a consignment shop. Then we have this tea set, which is made by the same. I picked this up and I was interested in this cup. I liked it, and it had the maker's mark on there. I'm like, this is a really nice little cup. I kind of like it. Then I picked this up, and I noticed that it was the same mark. And my wife's like, please don't separate the set. So I said, okay, not a problem. I won't separate the set. So it's an individual tea kettle, and it's kind of interesting. And to me, it says 70s, but I have maybe I can find something more information, but I'm not sure. Then we have two bells. One, which has a wonderful sound, even though it has a small chip in the rim. There you can just see it. Really, I also like the patina and the overall look. It would look good on a strap because of that handle style. Then we have this, which is, believe it or not, sort of a bell. It's got metal horns, and it's obviously some kind of Chinese demon. Maybe it's supposed to ward off demons. I'm not sure. I picked it up for $1 at a flea market, so I'm going to do a little research on that one myself. It's ceramic. Then we have two pieces of metalwork. One is a vintage hook. I'm going to find a place to put this. I really like the shape. It just appealed to me. A very long thread, so I can get that really solidly into something. And then this small container, which originally had, I think, probably had a gem right there. And I don't know what this was for. I don't know if it was a cigarette case originally, or it was for makeup or something. It's a thin metal. It's folded. I really quite like it. And I get that for 50 cents, I think. I may put a gem back in it just for fun. And maybe we'll find a use for it. I like the action, too. On to the next section. Welcome back. All right, here we have a jack. I actually didn't have a movable jack like this in my tool collection. It didn't come with a bar, but I'm sure that I can just throw a bar in there, and if I need to put an actual hook in there, I can just use a pipe and then put a small screw in there to act it in. I don't know how you actually lower this. I have to figure that out. That part I don't know. So maybe I'll go to the Duralast site and see if they have any instructions I can download. Here we have a crowbar, which I picked up for $1. Oh, I got this for $5. That's why the label says $5. I got a crowbar for $1 at a flea market, and I'm going to turn that into an axe. I saw something online about using a crowbar as the handle of an axe. I kind of like the idea, so I'm going to use with this one. Here we have a giant cast iron octopus, which is going to hang on the wall. This is actually more expensive than I normally purchase things, but it was really cool. It's not vintage, it's new. It was really cool, and I know my wife would love it, so I got it. I got this, which I also think is a tourist piece, and I'm not sure how old it is. It's hand-carved, hand-painted, and it's an aquatic theme today. And we already have a whale tail on our porch, so we're going to have a whole aquatic theme going on there. And my wife wants to put this in the center of her wreath, so I think I'm going to decorate the wreath with shells. I need to get my hands on some shells. My mother-in-law may have some. Then we have a short baton, which has an interesting kind of a attachment. It's made out of sheet brass and it's screwed in place. And then the original, strap, which was riveted on. Let me show you. Riveted on. And it's not in bad shape, and it's got a really nice heft to it, even though it's not very long. I kind of like the whole vibe going on there. I picked that for $2. At a flea market. Now we have this, and now the light under it is, we already had that. It's one of those. And I got this because I saw where I bought the octopus, the people were selling these, and they were displaying them with tea lights under them, but the tea lights they had were LEDs that had multiple change colors. So I'm going to hunt those down. That's what I'm going to use on mine. It's just a decoration. But I didn't have one of those at the moment. But I did have one of those. So I just thought I'd give you an example of what I'm going to do. And I like the shape of this one and a kind of a three-tiered vibe. It was very kind of retro future kind of thing. Maybe Fallout 4 has been infecting my brain. Then we have a Night Eyes Clip Pocket XL. And this is the one I've been wearing for a very long time. And the last one finally died on me. The clip in the back, this plastic clip broke here after like 5 years. So I bought another one. And my wife got such a good deal on these that she bought two. So I currently have one already loaded and on my belt, and this is going to go into the gearbox. So that when that one dies, I'm already all set. Because we get a really nice price on them, so I was like, awesome, go for it. And then we have my very own fart gun, which I threatened to my wife. I said, if I ever find one of these at a thrift shop, I'm buying it. Because the first time I ever laid eyes on it, it made me laugh like a small child. And I found this at a thrift shop for $1. It looks brand new. They're still on the shelves at Walmart for 20 bucks. So I bet somebody gave one of these as a gift to someone. The parents weren't too thrilled and they donated it. I got it for $1. I think it's really funny. And the last thing we have is a fish. And this is a fish print. This is not like a first, you know, it's not an original or anything. It's a fish print. My wife really liked it, and this is going to go up in our bathroom. Which I may do that today if I feel motivated. My wife would probably like that. She comes home and saw the fish hanging up. So this has been today's bargain videos. It has been a definitely aquatic theme, what with the mermaid and an octopus and a koi. Also some cool gear, and of course a fart gun. So, you know, just fun all around.